What's good, YouTube? Steel here, and the ALCREMIE Drop Event is here with 5 brand new promos to collect, as well as a total of 20 hourglasses and about 40 wonder glasses that you could collect by beating every single task. As always, I'll be providing a list that could take on every single level of the event, although for the first time we will be providing a list that could actually take on every single difficulty on auto battle. And this comes thanks to a Twitch viewer, Miles Plus, that provided a list and promised that it could work on auto battle, and I told them if it would work, I would shout them out, and here it is. But before we get any further, I'd like to ask y'all to please consider subscribing as we continue to post all things Pokemon Pocket and are nearing 700 subscribers. Also, make sure to tune into my live streams as I stream Monday through Fridays on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, starting at around 11 p.m. Eastern, where I try my best to climb the Master Ball rank. And with that, let's take a look at the cards that we'll be playing for. This event takes us right back to what we're used to, which is just 5 promo cards. The Ultra Necrozma one was the first and only event to this point that actually provided 7. So collecting all the cards should be easier, you know, although that's like definitely just up to chance. But this time around, we got 3 reprints as well as 2 like brand new promo exclusive cards. The ALCREMIE is like the boss card, like the main hitter for the Sweets Relay deck. So seeing it have such a a nice art and like upgrade to like the artwork, I guess, is all it is, but it honestly looks great. Very excited. I'm actually happy with what they chose. They tend to choose cards that are like unplayable, like the Palm Out event. Great card, but like, I mean, great card, like looking card, but like that's not playable. Ultra Necrozma, despite that one video I made, as well as the guy on rank that beat me last season, it wasn't really like a playable card. But seeing a card like this, where whether it's in the Ultra Ball or whatever rank you're in, it's a fun deck, it's a playable deck. Seeing that be the choice of the promo is something that I could get behind. Then we have Jolteon and Vanillite, which are just reprints in the sense that it's just a different artwork from a card that we already had in the Eevee Growth set. Then the brand new cards are the Dragonair, that for 1 energy heals 30. Whether or not it'll be used in Dragonite decks, I can't confirm. Personally, like, yes, it adds an aspect of like where you could heal, but really, don't you rather be more aggressive? I don't know if we'll see play, but I guess it's an interesting, like, I guess, option to have. And then there's the Aldino with Drain Slap. Again, not sure how relevant these cards will be, but they are promo exclusive, so make sure you get them while you can. To this point, we still don't know if they'll ever be tradable, or when they're tradable, how many hoops and things we have to jump to try to get these cards. So when it comes to events like these where these cards are exclusively just promos, good or bad, if you're a collector like me, you're gonna want to get all of them. Now I want to jump into the event as a whole. As you can see here, there's 4 different levels. If you just started, you'll see that you only have access to play beginner, so you are forced to play at least once in every single one of them. And once you beat them, you'll unlock the one that follows it. As you can see here, they continue to give us the guaranteed rewards here. I already have them, so just but the first time you beat every single level, they'll give you some amount of hourglasses, a guaranteed promo pack, and a shop ticket. The first 2 levels though, their missions only give you like more stamina to play the event, which is valuable in its own right, but it's not like something you should, like, I don't know, stress too much about. Granted, I do like to beat the challenges on my very first try. Yes, the list that I will provide is going to be able to beat these in auto battle, but what I would recommend is to keep an eye to make sure that they're doing at least the tasks that is listed in every single event. Like, for example, one to know is not this one, it's in advanced, where they want you to win without your opponent getting any points. It is possible that the auto battle could lose a point here or there because your opponent is playing cards like if you see here, if we look at their deck list, they're playing cards like X speed or something, and maybe they get aggressive in a point where like the computer's not playing around. Granted, the computer only cares, the auto battle only cares about winning, so the what matters most to them is to win the game, which is great for when we're an expert. But when we're doing these first few levels, it could win with auto battle, but you want to make sure that you're getting these tasks done as well, because these are levels that you don't want to play more than once, mainly because they only guarantee you the pack that one time you beat them. Also, they don't have any more like incentives to be playing them. Thankfully, they removed that advanced thing. It's been a few formats now, so maybe if you just started the game, you didn't even know it existed. Before, they forced you to get all the wonder glasses, you had to beat the advanced 5 times, but then you weren't guaranteed a pack. So I'm glad they changed it, and they haven't gone back. So now the only one that requires beating it X amount of times is the expert one, but it guarantees a pack every time. So basically, all your stamina, and don't be afraid to like use it all up, right? Every event they're gonna give you a whole bunch of stamina. Every event, like the first few levels, are gonna give you even more stamina, and it should be enough to like get everything you need or everything you want. Granted, you know, give or take some luck, but yeah, always focus on beating these first try to knock out all the challenges, and then just focus on beating expert battle over and over again, because that's the guaranteed pack. That's your best chances of getting these promos down here. And if you're like anything like me, I try to get my 2 copies of each. There's people that want to get a copy of like in every language and stuff like that. Again, the best way to do it is just beating expert battle. Any other level, although easier to defeat, won't guarantee you the pack. And like I said, I'm about to show you a list that will and can beat this in auto battle. Once again, I'd like to shout out Mild Plus for the list. Honestly, I hesitated in using their list because there's like some like almost like pride in saying like, oh, the list I'm providing you, every list in all of my expert solo battles and my event guides have always been created by me. Granted, they're not anything out of this world. It's a 20 card like pocket deck that you could find. Like, we all have access to the same cards, right? But they showed me this list. They promised they could win in auto, and honestly, it did it. So I kept my word, and here's the exact list they told me will do it. And honestly, the main thing I could point out is that ALCREMIE is like their biggest hitter with 80 HP, and it's weak to steel or metal. I mean, it's weak to metal. So technically, the only cards you need to just sweep the opponent, whether it's in auto play or you're playing it yourself, is a Skarmory and a Geo. Skarmory with a tool hits for 50, thanks to weakness hits for 70, and then with the Geo, you knock out every Pokemon that they're playing outside of like one of the evolutions. But that evolution requires more energy to be built up. Like, it's, and then not to mention that you have Rocky Helmet and Barb, so if they attack you, they lower the range gets even lower. That's why the main cards are Skarmory, the tools, and Geo. Those cards alone win you the entire thing. Granted, you have to fill a 20 card deck, right? And that's where Mild put the Pawniard and the Bisharp, because Bisharp, when it evolves, not only is it like a bulkier Pokemon, although bulk doesn't really, not its bulk is relevant, is like kind of irrelevant, because once they hit a few sweet relays, the sweet overload is going to knock out whatever you have in front of it. But Bisharp 70 plus the weakness knocks out everything on their side. So I understand why they went with this as the pairing to Skarmory instead of like a Heatran or something, because the Heatran or Dustmane Necrozma, those are all like a little overkill because they hit a little too hard and they take a little too long to set up. And then the reason we're maxing out on, well, not maxing out on healing, but we have double potion and the Pokemon Center Lady, is to keep our health up, because they will poke at us with the sweet relays, which start adding up and could knock out our Pokemon. But if it's just like the original, like the base Pokemon, like the Milcery or the Vanilla, they're only hitting it for like 10-20 damage at a time, so the potion gets us right back up and we can survive the bigger hits towards the end. And then the Guzma is because they do play Cape, and again, we're trying to keep everything in the range of Skarmory plus Geo, or Skarmory and the tool, and Guzma makes sure that all their Pokemon are a little weaker, like don't get too much HP. And once we knock out, basically once you knock out ALCREMIE, they have no way of actually punishing you. With that said, let's jump into a gameplay to see how the deck works. Hopefully the list works for you. Honestly, it works for me. Like I said, I put auto battle and I beat every single tier of this event, just like Mild promised. So hopefully you have just as much luck. Hopefully you have great luck pulling the promos you want. As always, thank you for watching, and above all else, stay pro. All right, going second. And we're just a tool away basically from like winning automatically. Going second is so broken. Actually, we don't even need the tool. With Geo, we already knocked this out. That's an example. I might throw on auto battle just for example, but the only issue that with auto battle is that it does take the time. The opponent does take its time to do, like, it does every action that it has possible. And for the sake of time, like saving time, I'm just gonna show y'all the best way to play it. We have Pokeball here. Again, it's rather one of the simpler events we have to do. But honestly, I guess the most important thing that I wanted to point out was the fact that there is a way to just put auto battle. You don't have to worry about it, because the opponent will go. I mean, the computer. I keep saying the opponent. No, us as an auto battler, we'll go through like all the motions. And I guess technically I messed up because I used the research looking for. Is that the tool would have guaranteed the knockout? Is what I was like my mental's going for. I could have just knocked it out though with the Giovanni. Granted, knocking this out is like the best thing that there's in the, because if they can't establish an ALCREMIE, at no point are you in any danger. Yeah, and when I saw water, I was like, ooh, they could be playing Irida or something. None of that. Look at that. The ALCREMIE gets knocked out. No tool required. Let's start setting up a Bishop here. That's something that the auto battle you start seeing, like they're playing a little off. They won't use they'll set up all the Skarmories. They don't think ahead the way we do, is basically what happens. Which is something I guess we take advantage of when we're going against the AI. But Yeah, basically here they're done though, because again, like now their best chance was to evolve into what the Swirlix evolves into. Look at that. All right, they're gonna hit us for 30, and then next turn they're hitting for 50, right? So if we don't see a heal, we'd be in trouble. But we literally have Pokemon Center Lady since the beginning. But this is an example of Pool plus Giovanni is guaranteed knockout, which is just crazy to think about. The only, yeah, and even Alcremie, the Sweet Relay, I think they've only Sweet Relayed once. I could be wrong on that. I could have lost track. Sweet Relay is one of those where like you need, I feel like you need pen and paper to like break down to remember how many times they've used it. But yeah, just like that, two points, and it's not getting any harder from here. I do in fact do not remember if they attacked with this. I don't think they did. Yeah, no, because they they evolved into Alcremie and passed, and we went, yeah. All right, here really doesn't matter. I guess where it matters is that we don't have the tool, but if we draw Geo, we win. If we draw Bisharp, we win. Yeah, no. What could happen here, like let's say we're trying to win with without losing any points, is that they could have Cyrus. They really like to use Cyrus. But if they don't have Cyrus, they just lose to attack. They'll just pass turn, basically. Okay, Giant's Cape, which is why we play Guzma, but... Alright, no. They could still Cyrus, right? Alright, so that's GG's. Because we Guzma here, putting them in range. I'm glad we were basically able to show everything that the deck's able to do. Granted, we missed Bisharp, but we saw the importance of Geo, the importance of Guzma. Every card in this deck does something. And again, shout out to Mild for the list. It worked perfectly. And in auto battle, trust me, it'll work. It'll work. I don't have like the patience to like just sit here and do nothing while it's working and just telling y'all like how it goes. You just gotta take my word for it, and trust me, you won't be disappointed. As always, we try to do at least 2 examples in every video, and this time we're going first, so I could show you the angle where we struggle a little bit more. And by struggle, I mean that it is almost guaranteed to win going second, especially if you start Skarmory with a tool. But going first, we're still fine. Realistically, I would hold the tool for the Skarmory, but we do play 4 tools, and if the Mystery attacks, then we're able to knock it down, like knock it out in return, right? If we were to put the tool back here, they just attack us for free. They stack a Sweet Relay, and they're not in range for the following turn because Bisharp requires 2 energy to attack. I guess technically they could attack here. No, they would have put... it would have been too risky for them, right? And now we have the tool anyways. They don't play Guzma. They do play Sabrina, though, so... in case they do that... again, there's no real reason to evolve right now. Because the most they could do is evolve into an Alcremie that will hit for 0, because they have not used a single Sweet Relay. But you see, they go down. Had they attacked, they would have been knocked out on the... because of the recoil of the Rocky Helmet. And from here on out, it's basically GG's. And again, it's I don't know. It's just everything in their deck is just too low to the ground. Technically, here they have the play where they could go into the Swirlix, I think it's called. Well, not this is Swirlix. Whatever it evolves into, Slurpuff or something like that. Yes, and they're gonna hit us for 30, and then next turn they start hitting for 90, right? So this is one of those where we might not be able to get away without losing a point. But the fact that we're gonna actually, if we draw Geo, we're fine. Okay, I was like, potential Geo play was there, but they might just not attack because of it does knock them out in return. Yeah, like if they attack, they get knocked out. So I don't know if how the computer's like built to play it out. Okay, they're attacking. Yeah, we couldn't play around that at all. But yeah, they don't attack either because that would again knock them out. So yeah, just like that. Now not only we beat it rather quickly, we beat it without losing points. Like I said, it's going to happen eventually in 20 games. And I guess I should have put auto battle for that one. But nonetheless, this list works perfectly fine. Honestly, I was a little skeptical about Bisharp, but it works just as well. The 70 plus the weakness, or I guess plus the super effectiveness, whatever. I guess their weakness really crushes the event. Overall, you can't go wrong with this list. What matters most is that you have the best of luck getting all the promos, which is all I could hope that you guys have. That just about does it for me in this video. Please consider subscribing, and above all else, stay pro.